Andre, how's it going?
Hey man, I can't complain. Eagles got that victory. The whole city happy. It's a lot of frowns from the Dallas clowns, but it's cool. A clown's supposed to get pie in their face. So I love seeing the Dallas Cowboy fans in disarray, the Skip Baylesses of the world making excuses. All you Dallas fans trying to make a moral victory out of this, but it's a loss. You can take whatever you want from the game, just take the loss as well. But I'm doing great, brother.
I love it. I love it. Excellent to connect. Another episode of Two Things, Two Questions. Before we get into the football, first question here. We're coming off, I don't want to call it a straight up blockbuster, but James Harden moving on now to the LA Clippers. They got like the big four. How are you feeling about this transaction? How are you feeling about the players that the Sixers got back? How do you think this is going to affect the chemistry and the competitiveness of both sides of these teams?
First off, I want to start off by saying the James Harden press conference was bullshit. You talking about they had you handcuffed to a system when you are the system. This is another case of athletes not taking accountability for stinking up the joint. What everywhere you go that you had an issue, whether it was Kevin McHale, whether it was Chris Paul, whether it was the just the get traded to Brooklyn and then to come here and then you want to leave. It's always somebody else, and it's never you. So now that your jabroni ass is out of my rear view mirror, you're going on a whole nother side of America. I don't got to deal with you no more. But I love what the Sixers got back. You got a lot of veteran leadership. Nicholas Batum will be big if we decide to keep this roster what it is. We got trade little rumors going out there, but if they keep the team as is, I like Batum still getting 18 minutes, being a veteran presence for the team. That helps along with the Pat Beverleys. I like Marcus Morris, an irritant, a pest who could get their own bucket still at the age of 31. He still has a lot to give to the game. And his role will be suited for him well because he's going to be the one to stir it up, get underneath the guys, that he defending skin, and he could put the ball on the floor and get his own shot. I love Robert Covington. He can Mr. D and three. This guy can go guard multiple positions, and he can hit the three-pointer. That's going to be beneficial when you're going up against the Boston Celtics, the Miami Heats of the world. You got to have players that can guard multiple positions. So putting the ball in Maxey hands has helped. The Nick Nurse system has helped. They're buying into the system. You got Pat Beverly picking up players 94 feet. They're amped up. This crowd loving the energy. I love what I'm seeing from the Philadelphia 76ers. A lot of people just was talking about Boston, Milwaukee, but I said all along, we will get in the title picture if we add some more pieces. And I believe we have enough to compete with the Bostons, with the Miamis, with the Milwaukees to get to the Eastern Finals and possibly get to the NBA Finals as is. I really like what we got.
I love what the Sixers have. I mean, as we said, Maxey, Embiid, that's your core, that's your nucleus, that's the nuclear reactor. They got talent everywhere, but those two guys know that they are the centerpiece of the franchise. And at the same time, Tobias is a real player. Kelly Oubre is a real player. Like you said, Covington, Batum, these are very switchable guys, and so I think it's going to inject energy on the court. I think they got great veterans, the locker room. And as we said before we tapped in, we got Embiid getting fined for throwing down the what? NWO.
The DX, baby, the DX. You know what I mean? Suck it. You listen, man. When Road Dogg, Jesse James, and Billy Badass get in the ring and they start saying we got two words for you, we used to do it in the hallways of school, getting detention for shit like that. That'll never come on. That's iconic. That DX, come on. That everybody remembered their Generation X. So Joel Embiid is a WWE fan, wrestling fan, and he had to give it to the guy because he was cooking him. He was cooking them. So fuck that little fine, little 30, 40 grand. That's nothing. It will be all right. I love the energy. The Sixers is looking like a real contender. So, we only 5 games in, but look, I like what I see. I love how they play. and they playing hard for one another, and you could tell they bought into Nick Nurse's system. That might go down as a key signing on its own, getting Nick Nurse, who was a great coach in Toronto.
He was a great coach, definitely a technician, somebody who, is known for being able to kind of look at the pieces that he has to work with and not trying to adapt those pieces to his system, but the opposite. He's going to adapt his system to the players to kind of make most of what he has. That being said, shout out Doc Rivers. As you said,
that's right. Doc's still my guy, man. I wish he never got fired, but the jabroni went in the office and said he got to go. This is before he acted like a hoe about his money, but he went in there and got Doc fired, man. But Doc is one of the legends. I don't care what nobody say. Doc is a great coach, man. He just played with some jabronis. The Chris Pauls, the James Hardens. He just he played with some jabronis. So, hey, it is what it is, man.
And isn't that a lesson that all it takes, as they say, is one bad jabroni in the barrel to ruin what's going on with the rest of the good things happen.
Come on, man. It's always somebody else. The game is one on the floor. He's not the one making you not defend players on plays, or you looking at the ref crying foul while people were going on a fast break. That ain't Doc Rivers' fault. That's you taking ill-advised shots. You not trying to go to the cup like you normally do. You settling. Please, that's you. You doing that. Please.
Yeah, and let's be honest too. It's like not enough people give Doc the credit that he deserves for just quite literally having to juggle these personalities of not only the Hardens of the world, but Ben Simmons and that whole situation, right? Like it's like in the distant memory of a lot of fans, but for Doc, he was having to manage all of that drama straight out the gate, pretty much.
Yeah, you see why his hair don't grow. You see why he got the little 5 o'clock shadow. You know what I mean? And you got to deal with this shit at work. You got to deal with Ben Simmons and his little hoe ways. And then you got to go from that to the James Harden, two jabronis, two little conceited individuals. They want to go party and hang out and all that. This guy lets you go party during the playoffs, go to Vegas. That alone should garner respect, but you're going to throw the guy under the bus. And when people and players and athletes do shit like that, that's when it just tells me about your character. I hate LeBron James on the court, but I love LeBron off that motherfucker for everything that he do. He don't do no weird shit. Hey, I want to go to the casino. I want to go to Vegas. He would never do no shit like that. Only a guy like James Harden will pull that off. Only a guy like Ben Simmons will pull that off. These are the type guys that do shit like that. And I don't have no respect for them guys. Fuck Ben Simmons and fuck James Harden. Sincerely from a Philadelphia fan.
Noted, stamped. Okay, staying in the city of Philadelphia. Last night, we watched what I think was one of the games of the year. Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys, live from the Linc. Mr. Wesley Hippie was there in person. So explain just what you were taking in, what you saw from the sights and the sounds, being live and direct from the game. Take it away.
Hey, man, look. Don't ever wear no Dallas here in Philadelphia, please. They're going to grind you up. We had people all the way from London come over to the stadium to check us out, man. Like, some were Eagle fans and a couple of them was Dallas fans. Like, this is the rivalry of all rivalries, in my opinion. Dallas, Philadelphia. A lot of us Philadelphians got family members and friends that just love Dallas. And let me just make a little case for you Dallas fans real quick. Don't talk to me about 5 rings. Please let that shit go. Do restaurants that won awards for the best steak in 1997, you think they got that shit up on their wall in 2023? Please stop talking to me about 5 rings that y'all seen when I was a child. When I seen that last championship Dallas won. I am 40 years old now. I turned 40 a couple of weeks ago. I have not done nothing since 95. Please stop talking about those rings. Now, back to the game. The game experience was everything out there. The game itself was what I expected. A physical, hard-nosed, tough as nail battle of the trenches. That game was won literally by the trenches. The Ferguson couldn't get in the end zone because the knee was on the outside, and so was the ball. The knee was on the line, but the ball was on the outside. All touchdowns get reviewed. So y'all got screwed out of that. Y'all screwed yourselves. Then y'all got all the way in the fourth quarter. Y'all on the 12-yard line. Y'all march down the field in 19 seconds and get it to the 6-yard line, and y'all can't get in the end zone. It's so bad. Martavis Bryant got an invite to work out for the Cowboys because they looking for red zone help. Y'all that desperate? Y'all gonna dig out the crate like y'all looking for a damn record to play on the turntable? Are you serious? Come on, man. Y'all lost the game. Salute to Dak Prescott. You played a good regular season game. Hell, you threw for 44. You threw it 44 times. You better get 370 some yards. Throwing that many times. You're a one-dimensional team. You're not a running team. All you can do is throw. Y'all don't have no bell cows there. Tony Pollard is not the answer as a lead back. He's a great number 2. I spoke to you about it. What Charlie Garner was to Ricky Waters, that's what Tony Pollard was to Ezekiel Elliott. Nothing more, nothing less. He's just a great number 2. And he ain't the guy to get a rock to 18 to 22 times and say, lead us. He ain't that. And y'all screwed yourselves when y'all didn't go make a trade with the Titans to go get a Derrick Henry. You missed out on signing a Leonard Fournette. Now you got to pay for it. 5-3. That's y'all right now. The jabronis took the plane ride home, and Jerry, you could cook an egg on his forehead. He was hot, and I love it. Nothing delights my day than seeing the Cowboys lose to the Eagles. Nothing. I just feel joyous. I feel good, man.
Hey, that's how it should be, right? I mean, Jerry, the Cowboys, they love to talk a big game, and they got to figure out a way to, play in the clutch, basically, right? I mean, when Dak is getting near the pylon, you got to know where the sideline is, right?
He heard them footsteps. He was bitching. He heard the footsteps. He heard them feet, and he just, he was like the Holy Ghost hit him. See, you gotta keep you cool. In a tight situation, keep cool. Gotta keep you cool. He didn't keep his cool. He stepped on that line, cost you 2 points. You could have possibly just kicked the field goal had he got the 2 points and got it in. Y'all screwed yourselves. Thank you.
And I'm also going to say another thing. I do not think that the Dallas Cowboys still to this day are properly utilizing CeeDee Lamb on their team. I think that
they're not utilizing. I mean, he got a $190. He went out and got a $190. We put in Eli Ricks and Bradbury. And I will say this. Our defensive backs need to get the fuck together. Bradbury, I don't know if it's because we got a new defensive coordinator. Listen, you can't be getting baked like Boston beans out here. You getting baked. Slow cook. And they doing it to you weekly and on a weekly basis. You need to get your shit together. Well, take this break, get in the lab, get in that film, and study your opponent. Please stop getting baked. They baking you easy. Easy Bake Oven Bradbury is your name right now. And I'm a diehard Eagles fan, and I'm critiquing and criticizing one of my own because I'm tired of seeing this guy get baked, either giving a penalty or somebody going right over the top of him. Get your shit together.
Hey, I don't want to postulate on what's going on. I mean, everybody, like you said, the Philadelphia organization is a master at knowing what information not to share. Bradbury never probably been the fastest dude in the locker room.
Nah,
right?
Absolutely.
Jalen looks like he's maybe dealing with some things. I mean, clearly the guy came back from what looked like could have been a serious knee injury last night. So, who knows?
That guy's a warrior, man. I love Jalen Hurts. He epitomizes Philadelphia. You could keep us down, but you ain't gonna put us in the ground. And that's the whole difference. That Jalen Hurts won't go away. You're gonna have to kill this guy to get him off the field. And I love it. And he still was efficient. He didn't have that big numbers, but A.J. Brown got the touchdown. A beautiful pass to Devontae Smith, right over the top of that cornerback that everybody loved to pipe up since Trayvon went down. He went right over the top of him. I forgot the guy name. I could care less about them jabronis. Hey, Micah, you the only Cowboy I'll give respect to because you a Penn State guy. But all that cop and plea talk, getting your affidavit ready. Oh, we did this, we did that. I like y'all lost. Get your lick back in 4 weeks when we come to your house. But I don't think y'all got it in you. I actually think the Eagles might turn it up a notch on you guys, man. We'll see. Don't sleep on the Eagles walking out of Dallas with a W.
And that's the other thing that I honestly gotta say is that a lot of NFL teams, I don't know what they're thinking when they like don't look across the other side of the field and realize that these are professional adults getting played to play professional football. And when it's time to like proverbially stomp on the throat, you got to stomp on the throat and
gotta kill your opponent. You gotta get rid of. You don't play with your food. Mommy told me don't play with your Brussels sprouts. You gotta eat your food.
So I would expect the Eagles, Jalen, Sirianni, the staff, I would expect them to lay it on the Cowboys when they go down to Dallas.
Yes, sir, because it was such a close game. And, the Cowboys is trying to take morality out of the loss. They want a moral victory. They're talking about how they were. It's an NFC East game. This been like this since I was a child watching Uncle Emmett go against the D-line of the Eagles with Reggie White, Clyde Simmons, Seth Joyner.
With the hurt shoulder.
Come on, man. Wes Hopkins, Andre Waters, Eric Allen. Come on, man. Look. This was a battle. I knew it was going to be a battle, but we got the win. And y'all got to figure shit out. Y'all 5-3. Y'all move down that ladder of playoff teams. Y'all don't want to try to get on the road and do your thing because you know what Dak like to do on the road. He ain't no road warrior. I'm sorry. He had a great game. He had a good game yesterday because he was inaccurate, like 27 for 44. You know what I mean? You just throwing shit up there. And a lot of that was going to CD Lamb because y'all had the matchup. Cool. But when it come down to a big game, playoff game, and you need this guy to get the job done, the chips on the line, this the guy, you willing to put the mortgage, the house up? You willing to put the deed of your house on that? I think not. You be a fool. You don't want to be outside in the cold because of that. Don't do it.
Don't do it. And moving on just to the separate game, I think we all enjoyed the Bengals-Bills game. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, clash of some serious quarterbacks there. Joe Burrow telling the world he goes to bed at 7 o'clock or something like that during the regular season or whatever. When it's game time, he's got his locked in. Josh Allen, second coming of Brett Favre, thinking he's running around like, just Mr. Unprotected.
Gunslinger, man.
Gunslinger with a death wish because some dude is going to finally just like let him know what an NFL linebacker feels like.
But, I mean, he's a big boy, but these defenders, man, you're not going to always be able to overpower these guys. We talking about guys that's 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 245 pounds. They running 4.5s, 4.6s, and you run into that, you gonna get hurt. So the problem with Buffalo, like I told you, they don't have a runner. Look, Dalvin Cook, little brother, is a good piece to have, a change of pace back. You just need a bell cow there. That's what Buffalo missing. And right. Because of that, and I want to say too, not having their cornerback Tre'Davious White. Is he back? Did he come back from the injury? That hurts. Von Miller don't look like he's fully recovered from his injury. He just coming back. So it's going to take some time for him to get back into it. He's a little older now. So, look, man, y'all better get it together because y'all don't want to be the team to go to Baltimore. You don't want to be the team to go to who else is on top of things right now in the AFC. You don't want to go to Miami. You don't want to have to take the trip on the road in the wild card and having to get a W because it's going to be hard. And Josh Allen, I love your arm talent. But sometimes, bro, you got to ease up, man. And y'all don't have the personnel at running back to do that. So y'all pass offense. And then when you like to go out on the run, my Lord, do you even know what a slide look like? Somebody going to bury you, man. They're going to really hurt you. And I don't want that for you. If you gonna run, brother, slide.
That's
Don't
what I'm
try
saying.
to
I mean,
muscle. Don't try to muscle.
you look at Josh Allen. I mean, like first touchdown they scored of the game, he gets the taunting call on him because he's like in the face of the guy, the defender that's near him. And he look, NFL defenders, college defenders, good football players, they don't forget that kind of stuff, right? And
no, they don't.
Josh is built like a Mack truck, and like you said, I'm rooting for him to make plays and stay healthy and all the rest of it. But like you said, somebody who's a little shorter and a little stouter comes at you with leverage, it's never going to end well. And eventually,
you got to learn how to slide, brother. Slide. It'll save your career. If you think you're going to just keep muscling people and running them over, you going to be in for a rude awakening, brother. And they ain't going to throw no flag for the Buffalo Bill. You bought that. So learn to slide, brother.
Yep.
Stop trying to run everything over. You ain't Optimus Prime. You ain't the truck. You is not the Mack truck, brother. You a big boy. You're a big boy, but you can only do that so much, and it's going to take a toll on your body.
That's right.
They need a running back. They need to go out and try to find somebody on the street. Leonard Fournette should have been got picked up by those guys, man. But, hey, man, you got to go with what you got. The trade deadline is over. Maybe they could find somebody in free agency, but y'all got what y'all got. You better work with it.
It'll be interesting, to see how it all plays out. And like you said, Eagles resting up, Dallas Goedert getting that broken arm right eventually. Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, Mr. Hall of Fame corridor. They're facing him.
The golden boy.
That's right. He'll have his own.
The Oscar was the first. Pat Mahomes is the second.
Right. Yeah. No. So it'll be interesting to see how all these teams shape up. Before we move on to the prediction mode, shout out CJ Stroud, Offensive Rookie of the Year. As you said, I don't know how it could go to anybody else at this point.
5 touchdowns, 470 yards. He was on fire. I put him on my FanDuel fantasy. He was the number one quarterback yesterday in the NFL. And the crazy thing, in the other fantasy league, the guy I was going up against for this week for my fantasy, he benched CJ Stroud to put Justin Herbert in. I know he's sick to his stomach. And I'm 6-2 and number one right now. I'm about to go 7-2 in the league. And we put up $75 a piece. So that money going to be coming home soon, baby. But, hey, man, that CJ Stroud looking like the best quarterback. Hey, Carolina Panther fans, I got a question for you. Did y'all draft the right quarterback? Because CJ Stroud looking like the best offensive rookie in the game.
2 pick sixes yesterday from the former number 1 draft pick. We all know that Bryce Young is a player, but sometimes the flow of the offensive game on the NFL level just is easier for some guys. And you watch CJ Stroud, 40 seconds on the clock, game on the line. He's got to go the length of the field. Boom, touchdown.
This guy is as poised as a veteran quarterback. He probably went the longest without throwing an interception as a rookie. He probably went the longest out of anybody ever to go that many games without throwing a pick. Like, he's as poised as a veteran. He has a great touch on his throws. And look, the talent around him is better than what they got in Carolina. Now, Adam Thielen has had a renaissance year. Let's give him props, because I thought he was done when Minnesota let him walk. I thought he was finished. But he's showing out over there in Carolina. But Miles Sanders ain't having the year he had this year. That was expected. You leaving the best offensive line, and you go into an offensive line that not known for creating many holes. And now this is what you got. They done benched him and started Chuba Hubbard. And Chuba Hubbard, and look, it is what it is. He don't have enough talent over there. Bryce Young do. He don't have enough talent over there in Carolina. But, man, Houston got talent defensively on the offensive side of football. Free agents going to be looking at this team this offseason coming up and be like, Houston, they got turkey leg hut, strip clubs, good food, good football team on the rise, young talent. I can sign there. Hey, that's the logistics of getting people to sign there. And if you're smart, you have him in a strip club and review the contract. Let's get it.
Hey, I hear that, and you're not wrong, because that exact equation has worked for a very long time for the Houston Rockets. So it should also work for the Houston Texans.
You damn right.
Moving forward, Monday Night Football, New York Jets, LA Chargers. Who do you like in this game? Prediction phase.
The Chargers and who playing again?
The Jets.
And they're at New York too. So I don't know, man. I love Justin Herbert, man. They just put Palmer, their wide receiver, on the IR. He out for about 4 to 6 weeks. You know what I mean? That draft pick Johnston, the wide receiver, he looking like a bust. Looking like Jalen Rager did with us. He looking like that for them over there. So now you just got Greg Everett and Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler against a great defense over there for the Jets. You got Zach Wilson still at the helm. He not getting enough touches to the guys like Garrett Wilson and, you know what I mean, Breece Hall. I'm going to go with the Jets on this one just because they're at home. And, you know, man, I love Justin Herbert, man, but that coach, he is gone. You could stick a fork in his ass. He's out of there. I'm surprised they didn't get him out of here after this last loss, but they're going to allow him to finish out the rest of the season. I promise you, ownership already told him that. You're out of here. He got to go. He's gone.
As a former San Diego Chargers fan, if the Spanos, you want to talk about a bunch of jabronis, if the Spanos family, right, can say goodbye to Marty Schottenheimer after going 14-2, right, with one of the greatest squads in team history, and they're letting Staley stick around, come on.
He got to go, man. It looked good when they first drafted Herbert. It looked good a couple seasons on after that, but it looked like from the players that they signed that always get hurt, they you know what I mean? They just always it's something about the Chargers franchise. These guys have top talent and they get hurt. Khalil Mack wasting his great years over there. Bosa, I promise you, Bosa might bounce on the Chargers when he eligible to hit free agency. Look, man, it's a mess over there, man. You would think those guys they would return after making the playoffs, giving the Jaguars a dogfight in the wild card. That was a great game. That was a game last year. You would think that they would be able to rise from that, but they didn't. And look, man, it don't look good right now for the Chargers, man. So I'm gonna go with the Jets. I'm gonna go with a score of 23 23-20 Jets.
23-20 Jets. Lock it in. As we all know, Mr. West Philly Hippie, often known to be absolutely correct on the program. Andre, as always, thank you for tapping in. Thank you for the education. We'll do it again next week.
We'll do this again next week, bro.
All right, man.